Hello, everybody, and thanks for listening to the Kick Your Boots Up podcast. This week we have girl time, finally, 2 ladies in studio. This is going to be so awesome. Shelby Lovelace and Blaze Stewart. Ladies, thank you for being here on the Kick Your Boots Up podcast.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
I love it when things like this work out,
Yes.
when we finally get boss babes in the same room together to
love
talk
it.
about life and everything in general. So speaking of that, let's just jump right on in. Shelby,
Perfect.
with you, tell us a little bit about yourself,
Yeah.
how you grew up, all of it.
So my name is Shelby Lovelace. I grew up on a 500-acre cattle ranch. We raised beef. We raised commercial cattle. And that's kind of what I did growing up. We worked cows and stuff like that. Western industry has always been super special to me. I kind of left and went to the corporate world for a little bit and was able to come back and tie the Western industry into my business, The Good Babes Co. And then I get to work with amazing Western ladies, and they get to model the clothes. We get to tie horses into it, and it just has worked out so awesome.
I
Full
agree with
circle.
you there. And I'm so in awe of like your business
Thank
mind
you.
on top of it all.
Thank
So
you.
yes, you've stayed true to the Western industry
Right.
and everything that you've done, but
Right.
also the business side. You've brought
Yes.
a really good thing to Good Babes. And
Thank
we'll talk
you.
about that in a little bit.
Thank you.
Of course. And Blaze, for you, tell us about how you grew up and kind of where you got to influencing today.
Yeah, definitely. So I grew up in Kansas, so I'm pretty excited to be living in Texas now. But I've kind of always been involved in agriculture in a way, or the Western industry. I showed horses, I rodeoed. Like we talked about, we go back to the rodeo queening days.
And we do have to talk about that on
Yes.
here for everyone.
Yes.
Yes. And I do attribute a lot of the qualities I have to that and what I learned through that. That was a great time. Like I said, I rodeoed, and my mom had a boutique, which is how I kind of got into the fashion world. I used to go to Dallas Market with her, Wessa, all of that. And I went to school in Oklahoma for a couple years and then moved to Canyon, Texas, and went to WT. And same thing, it's kind of come full circle.
Yeah.
And now I'm married to a rancher, and so I get to live the lifestyle every single day.
Yeah, a ranch wife too.
Yes.
That's the American dream for all of you guys. And
Yes.
I do want to back up to our rodeo queen days because we were
Yes.
trying to figure out what time frame that we would have met, and I
Like
think
when
it
it
was
started.
like 2008, maybe.
I think so. Like Little Miss CPRA. I think I was like 9 years old. I was living my best life at that time.
That was back when you didn't care about what
No
anyone
cares
thought.
in the world.
No, like the
No
most,
cares.
like all of the rhinestones that you can get, all of the
Yes.
glitter, all of it.
Yes, and then it didn't matter too. Like at the end of the
No.
day, if you just kept putting more on. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember like specifically, we were just like, it's good. More makeup,
More
we didn't really know how to put
hairspray,
it on.
bat
Yes.
wings, all of it, like the
Yes.
whole 9 yards.
Yes. And I think what's so cool about social media and how everything works out in the world and in the industry is how now we were just talking, we get to sit here and have a conversation as boss babes and
Yes.
still in the industry.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think it's worth mentioning too that like we haven't really, our schedules haven't aligned. We haven't been at the same events. If we have, we've missed each other.
Yes.
Really gotten to catch up since like 2013, whenever we like saw each other in Kansas, you know, all this stuff.
Yes.
So for you, what has been like the hardest part, I guess, about moving on to this next chapter of being a ranch wife, stepping out of like the young rodeo queen stuff to like fashion influencing, ranch wife, life like that?
I think the hardest thing, not necessarily on the influencer side or the Western, but it's been a big learning curve for me working on the ranch. I mean, I grew up in agriculture, but it's different. It's different. I mean, we run commercial cows. Imposter syndrome is so real in agriculture, I feel like, especially for women.
Yes.
I'm one of the only girls that works there alongside my husband. And sometimes like I feel silly asking questions or if I have an idea, you know, things like that. So that's been tough for me, but I also love it. And I've loved kind of being able to tie that into my influencing and sharing that side for other girls that may be struggling with that too or want to get into it but don't know how. That's something that I kind of want to work on being better about sharing. Like I said, I love fashion and I like putting my spin on it. Shelby and I were talking about that last night. Like
Yeah.
everybody styles stuff in a different way and I love seeing it. I love seeing people's personalities through it and I just don't feel like you can style something wrong.
No,
So-
I couldn't agree. And it does shine through with you. I think that's why
Yes.
you have such a good, loyal following too, is like
Agreed.
people, you're so real, both of you.
Yes.
I mean, you guys both are so real and transparent with the
Yes.
world. And I love one video in particular, and this has been a while back. You had just gotten done. I don't think you were working cattle, but you were doing something with your husband, helping
Yeah.
him out. And then you're like, get ready with me for a date night. And you
Yes.
literally went from 0 to glam. And, you know, it was a longer
Yes.
time, but the video took us through a trip. But
Yes.
I just love that. So that's where you pull your inspo from.
Yes.
And what do you do on days days that you maybe don't look the best? Do you still share? Do you still, what do you?
I do.
Okay,
I still get on my story, no makeup, ball cap. I mean, men's jeans sometimes, the whole
And
nine
she
yards.
still looks fantastic.
I
though.
know. I
But
know.
that was actually something Shelby and I worked together on, is we did a ranch collection, and that was
Yes.
kind of the idea behind it, was having clothes that you can go from wearing on the ranch to going to town and doing a date
Going
night.
to date night.
Because I feel like a lot of women struggle with that, or like having the time or the energy to really do it.
Yes.
But like, I feel like look good, feel good, do good. And so like some days even on the ranch, like I still want to dress cute. And
Yes.
Shelby really helped bring that vision to life, and that was really fun to work with her on. But I try to keep it real and share everything on the ranch.
People
So-
appreciate that. Keep
Yes,
doing
they
it.
do.
Like that's
Yeah,
how you
I
get
agree.
a loyal following. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
speaking of that, you guys do get to work a lot together. But
We
before
do.
we kind of talk more about that and what you're doing here, let's
Yes.
talk about how you guys met, because it was through Good Babes, right?
Yes. So originally a fashion show for RFD TV, Cowboy Channel in 2019. Randomly kind of met. And then of course through social media, which to me is the positive side of social media, of getting to meet all of these awesome women, getting to work together and harnessing that to use in a good way, I think is amazing. So yeah, that's kind of how that worked out. And then now we shoot together almost once a month.
I see that. You guys are together a lot. And even if you're not shooting it, you're just hanging out.
Yes.
You're doing the Airbnb thing,
Yes,
right? So I
yes.
think you've gone to
Yes,
stay
you
there.
I did. I went and stayed at
to
her
the
Airbnb.
Babe Cave. Yes, yes. Yeah, so
I-
it's come full circle. It's awesome.
I love hanging out and being around Shelby. She always has so many creative ideas,
goodness.
and she's such a fun person to be around. So I enjoy that a lot.
I feel like Blaze is even like more creative than me.
Well, I will say you guys feed off of each other very well. Even
thank you.
literally, you guys, I was just getting their lunch order like probably 30 minutes ago, and hearing them talk about like, oh yeah, I like this, like for this specific instance, you're like, I
Yes.
like this olive green, and you're like, yeah, I could go with this, and yeah, just hearing that and feeling the energy of women together supporting each other.
Yes, absolutely.
That's like so cool.
Yes.
And then the fact that you guys are both kind of influencers together, and then also boss babes as a whole. So kind of go in a little bit about why you guys are here, what you're doing
Okay.
with Justin, without giving too many spoiler alerts.
Of course. So we're actually helping style and kind of art direct the Justin shoot coming up. And I wanted to bring Blaze here to help with the actual, we want it to look realistic. We want it to be actual ranch style stuff to show that the working cowboy, working cowgirl can wear it. And so I think both of our minds together with that has been awesome. And I can't wait to actually get to the shoot to put it all together. It's going to be great.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is before the shoot happens, you're actually going up early.
To go rope. To rope. Yes. I know. I asked Blaze, I was like, do you mind if I come a couple of days early? She was like, actually, Rope would love that. Come head some steers for him. I'm like,
Yes.
I would love that.
Yes.
Do you
yeah.
rope too, Blaze?
I do. Yes, I am. I
Okay.
Breakaway.
She ropes great.
Wow. Yeah, I don't.
Shelby's giving me a lot of credit, but
She ropes great.
I breakaway rope, and I recently started heading this summer, so that's been another
Wow.
learning curve. So, but I'm excited about it. I've always wanted to team rope, so it's pretty cool that I'm finally learning.
You're doing it.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're
Yes.
helping each other. And the
Yeah.
one thing I
Yes.
have the question about that is like my biggest fear with it all is getting your thumbs caught. Do you guys ever have that fear?
No,
I
I mean, to be
haven't.
honest, I don't really know how people get them stuck as often as they
Okay,
do.
Yes.
I mean, I mean, you don't really think about it when you're doing. That's probably why it happens, because it's just like, oh, well, there went my thumb.
Yeah.
But no, I don't really think about it, I guess, when you're in the moment. But
yeah.
And I might not rope fast enough to be in that position yet.
I was gonna say team roping wise, I never left the dummy. Breakaway, I could
Yeah.
practice a few times,
Yeah.
but yeah, dummy for me is
Yes.
about the bar.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
no.
so before we go dive deep into your guys' jobs and your lifestyles, I've got to ask: when you guys aren't working,
Okay.
what do you guys do for fun? Obviously, roping, fashion, shopping, all of it. But tell us about like what are your
Roping.
favorite foods? What are your favorite activities?
Okay, well, yeah, Mexican food,
Yeah.
margaritas, definitely. We cross over on there for sure.
Yeah, a good steak. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yes. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
Um,
I like hamburger steak is my favorite home cooked, like brown gravy, mashed potatoes. That's my favorite.
Really?
Ooh,
That's your
like my go-to. And
comfort
I do put a fried egg on top of it.
Okay. See, I agree with you there.
Yes.
I love that, but my husband
Yeah.
will die on the hill of that
Yes.
is disgusting and eggs do not belong on
Yes.
burgers. So I guess let us
Yes.
know if you
Yeah.
if you like fried eggs on your burger.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like roping when I have extra time, that's what I do.
yeah,
For
that's
sure.
pretty much our hobby. I mean, I
Yeah.
like clothes and, shopping occasionally, but I feel like
Yes.
we go from we're working on the ranch, riding our horses, working cows, to, okay, let's go saddle the rope horses and go rope when we have time.
Yes.
That's kind of the hobby, I guess, what we enjoy to
Yeah.
do. I wish I had more time to do it, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah, for real. If
Yeah.
it is
So-
that relaxing. Yeah. And I guess what we're hearing then is that you guys are going to team up in 2024 and you're going to like start traveling the world as team roping partners.
Yes.
We're both headers. That's the
NFR.
problem.
NFR bound.
we need some healer girlies if you want to if you want to rope
shout
with
out
us.
to Healer Girls. Reach out to us, please.
What do you think is the hardest part about becoming a healer then once you've already been on the head and side? What do you think the hold up there
I think
is?
the horse switch is the hardest,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
For Shelby, for me, I cannot rope the heel dummy owl. Like, I cannot heel. I am awful at it. Like, I will fully admit that. But I definitely, horses, I mean, if you have a switch ender, that's even
Yeah.
better. But
I think I'm trying to train my colt on both ends right now, and he's 3. So of course
Okay.
you're in that like phase where he's just constantly doing whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
And then you try to switch in them and it's like, okay, this is tough.
Yeah.
But that's the hardest part for me, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
then I think you guys are both really good at handling the mindset through that. How do you guys handle a bad day, that whether it be in the rope pen or I don't even know, in your businesses and your day-to-day
Staying calm.
lives? Okay.
And taking it minute by minute. That's like my go-to. Like, let's take it one step at a time and go from there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good advice.
Yeah.
That's good. What about you? What do you?
staying calm, realizing that it's one day, and just having good faith.
Yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Ditto to both of those.
Yes.
That's so solid. And one thing too, I've got to commend both of you guys on is keeping up with like not only the fashion side of things, but like your body and healthy and lifestyle and all that. So like the first time I hope you remember this, or maybe I hope you don't remember this. I don't know. The first time I met you, you were getting your makeup
At the photo
done.
shoot.
Yes, for a photo
Yes.
shoot. And I honestly was in awe because this was my first experience with you in person.
Oh,
Again,
thank you.
going back to like the social media thing, you keep up, you feel like you know them,
Yeah.
but so anyways, I remember just like staring at you forever and being like, okay, so what is your workout routine? Because your legs are Carrie Underwood.
Yes.
And you were like, honestly, I just walk. So tell us about that. Tell us about what you do.
I like am a huge advocate for incline walking. It's great
Okay.
for everything. And I mean, running is fantastic, but it does wear on your knees. And incline walking, I'm like, almost anybody can do it. And you can buy one of the little desk treadmills that go into your desk and prop it up. I put a yoga mat underneath my incline, or underneath the treadmill, and make it an incline. So you didn't have to go to the gym.
That's
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah.
And then you just answer some emails,
Yeah.
walk
Yep.
for all day, 8 hours a day.
No, I'm not that. I'm not that good. But no, incline walking, I love. Yeah, for
That's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then same for you. What's your secret to staying healthy?
Well, Shelby's my inspiration,
Oh my
basically.
goodness.
I'm so jealous. But
Y'all are silly.
I do really try to eat clean or cook clean for us, especially with as busy as we are. I don't like loading up on junk food. I don't ever feel good. When I was in college, I did the Power Fit workouts, and that really helped me.
Ooh.
I don't really have the time for that anymore.
Yeah.
In the summer when we're working cows, that's my workout.
Yeah, I was going to
that's
say, when you're
plenty
outside
active
doing
for
stuff
me.
like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, even just roping.
Roping, yeah.
Yeah, roping is a great workout.
I
Like,
definitely feel like in the winter I need to do more though. I don't feel like I'm as active. I always say I'm a fair weather cowgirl. Like I don't really have a
100%.
choice, but if I did, I would be a fair weather
Agreed.
cowgirl.
Agreed.
You know what? I agree to that too. And that's what I love about Texas. I mean, I'm an Okie.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew
Yeah.
that, from Oklahoma.
Yes.
And that's like Oklahoma, it's always cold in the winter, but Texas, you'll have some random 75-degree days.
I
and you're
love
like,
those days.
Yes,
perfect. This is a great
absolutely.
day to go ride.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I love that. And we're almost out of time before we
Okay.
take a break. But the one question I want to ask before we do that is,
Okay.
where do you guys pull your fashion influence from? Where do you guys get
Oh,
your
gosh.
inspo for fashion?
If
That's
I
a
went
loaded
like the
question.
starter piece, I go to Pinterest,
Okay.
start a board, and then we put our own spin on it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like that's kind of my go-to.
And other girls too. Like, I mean, I see other things and I'm like, I love that, but I could do this with it. And so like
to make it you.
yes. And so like I definitely get inspiration from other people too, but
Yeah.
Pinterest, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So sometimes it just comes to me. Like I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, oh my goodness, I should try this.
My best ideas are at like midnight laying in bed.
Yes.
And so I have a notepad of style ideas.
By your bed.
Yeah.
That's genius. People have that for writing. I do a lot of writing.
Yes.
But it's
Yeah.
the same thing, I
Right.
guess.
Exactly.
With style
Yep.
and fashion.
100%.
The more you know.
Yes.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to have a lot in store for you guys for just talking about everything that they do in their lives, in their personal and professional lives. So stay tuned. Don't leave us. We'll be right back.
Some people find comfort in sitting still, but not you. You were born to explore, to seek out adventure. to live life to its fullest. You follow your own path and blaze your own trail. You understand there's a whole world out there, and nothing will keep you from experiencing it. Discover the Frontier Collection from Justin Boots. We've outfitted the Frontier for nearly 150 years. Find your Frontier today at justinboots.com.
We are back in the Kick Your Boots Up studio. Thank you guys for being here. We're with Blaze and Shelby, and now we get to talk about the fun stuff, the things that have kind of made us where we are today. So for you specifically, Shelby, I want to talk about Good Babes Co. and BBT and just really about how it all became about. So you and Danny are partners.
Yes.
So tell us about just how it all got started.
Yeah. So like I said, getting to tie the Western industry back into my businesses was kind of key for me. That's always been my niche market, if you will. And I feel like I was kind of one of the first Western boutiques, like when it all kind of first took off. And I feel like staying true to that and getting to tie back in the Western industry has just been like number one for me. So then we kind of transferred it we took like corporate cowgirl type feel with the blazers and stuff. And then we were like, well, let's put a button down underneath that we can take the blazer off and go straight to the arena and go rope. Then put the blazer back on and go to dinner. So it's like an office to arena to dinner type is kind of how we market it.
That's genius.
And corporate cowgirl has been like, everyone loves that, even if you're not cowgirl, you know?
Yes.
And Courtney D. Hoff does a great job of talking about that all the time.
The fancy lady cowgirl herself.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. And I mean, it just gets, the Western industry gives it such a classy, look and feel to it. And that's kind of where I wanted to go with my brand. So,
well, I am so inspired by you as a business professional as well. I feel like you've just gone and approached the boutique side of things just so sound. So kind of talk about that. What are your struggles there? What successes? I mean, you don't have to give away all your secrets, but tell us a little bit about the inside stuff that people maybe don't see.
Sure. So we actually this year have sat down and, we plan out our sales goals. And then we break it down by collections that we're going to shoot and like our drops and stuff that we have coming up. Excel has actually become my number one tool for everything.
Who knew for a boutique?
I know. I love Excel so much. That's kind of like my little boutique Bible type of thing. And that's how I organize everything by shoots, all of it. So yeah, that's kind of been my go-to for that. And I do focus on my numbers, and that is kind of the driver for everything is how much am I going to order? What am I going to order? Is what are my sales goals that I'm trying to hit? And then we kind of go from there.
And I've got to ask too, this past year was your first year at the NFR with the booth.
Yeah, it was great at Cowboy Christmas.
That. Yeah.
It was really amazing to see the girls on social media that you talk to all the time and then get to style them in person. That was my biggest takeaway from the NFR. 100%.
Did they kind of fangirl over you kind of like I did? Were they like, tell me about your life. Tell me about your workout.
I think everyone's just like, we get to see you in person. I get to meet everybody in person, talk to in person, and getting to meet, like I was saying, being a girl's girl, like everybody that came up was just chit-chatting. And then we started talking about horses and, it was great.
And you probably left with lots of friends. They were customers, now they're friends. Yeah. And this is a perfect example.
Yes.
the duo here.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that was probably number one takeaway for me. And now I'll go back every year. We plan to have a bigger booth next year. That was kind of I got pulled off the wait list super last minute. Wow. And so we got a very small booth. But we made it work, and next year's going to be bigger and better.
Yeah, that's right. You got your way in, your foot in the door. Now you know what you can do, what you shouldn't do, what you should do, the ins and the outs. Yeah. And one thing, too, that I've got to know, I'm curious about, Good Babes Co., the name. How did that come about? Obviously, you guys are two good girls. You're women.
So kind of like the girls' girl feel that I was talking about, telling people you love their outfit, helping someone at the grocery store. I know that's so random, but it's helping other people, trying to be the best person that you can possibly do, or be, excuse me. Yeah. Do good, be good, like Blaze was saying. And when you have clothes on that you feel good in, you're going to reflect that in life. And that was kind of the driver behind we're just selling clothes, but we want to empower people. When you feel good in what you're in, you're going to do amazing things. So
that is so well said. I love that. And what's the tie with BBT as well?
So basics, blazers, and trousers is what BBT stands for.
Okay.
And like I said, it's kind of stuff that you can take from the office to the arena. And that was kind of what we wanted to do. And really, there's not a huge selection of women's blazers that you can make look Western. And so that was kind of our tie behind that, was trying to pull it into the Western industry a little bit more. So yeah.
And bring it in, especially with the Ralph Lauren deal. That's really big.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So it's been neat to see rodeo queens wearing the blazers, FFA kids, stock show, all of that stuff. So it's been cool to see it full circle.
Yeah, I can only imagine from your point of view too. Because for
really cool.
for us, seeing you, you succeed in everyone. Yeah, going to NFR, looking for your things on demand, we get a different perspective. But from you, you're probably just so humbled, right? Just
absolutely. Yes. And like, I think back to when I was a little girl and like I was in the show arena or, seeing the judges wearing their fancy clothes, right? Now I'm like, I get to put those clothes on people. Like, that's so cool to me.
And you're the reason, indirectly, you're the reason why they feel good, why they're doing good that day, why they're performing their best.
That's what I hope. Yes. That's my hope for it.
That's definitely, that's definitely the case.
For sure. Yeah. So that's been great.
Yeah. No, I'm so happy for you.
Thank
and
you.
Blaze, with you influencing, your just style is iconic. You walk into a room and everyone just wants to look at you. They want to see, they want to see what you're wearing. They want to see how you styled it. How did you do your hair today? Tell us about like your insides and outside of influencing. How long have you been an influencer? Tell us about all of it.
Yeah, so I think it started in 2017, 2018. I went to Dallas Market with my mom. And I had just kind of told her, like, it would be so cool if I could model. Obviously, I'm not a model girl, but
but let's just pause there. Your mom is a queen.
I love her. She's the best.
She's like a friend mom.
Yes, she is my best friend, actually. So I went with her and she was like, you can do it. And I was like, okay. And
yes, I can.
I happened to walk into a booth there. It was the Coyote Cowgirl graphic t-shirts at the time.
Okay.
And she was like, we want you to come to a photo shoot in Santa Fe. And I was like, yes, please.
When?
And so after I got those photos back, I was kind of already sharing my style and my fashion on my Instagram, but just my friends were following me. And after I started tagging people, more people would follow. And, they would ask, well, how would you style this? And things like that. And I was like, you know what? I love this. I love styling people. Even still, I have people message me and be like, what should I wear to this? And
I told Blaze she's going to style me for NFR this year. I want that off of my plate. I'm like, can you style me? I'll style you, but you style me.
Yeah, which is so funny because like Shelby's so amazing at styling people, but it is like some people would rather style somebody else, just like, you'd rather do somebody else's makeup or things like that.
Definitely.
And so that's been really fun sharing all of that. That's kind of how I got into the influencing, and it just kind of kept growing from there. I don't really truly know how it started. If it would have happened today in the era of TikTok, I don't think I would have been able to do it, honestly.
Agree. I'm out.
I cannot do that. I try to make even the reels and I'm like, this isn't me. Like, this isn't. So I do share like outfit ideas on that. But I just love taking different pieces of clothing, putting them together, being able to style things differently. And so I truly don't know exactly how I got into it, but it's just kind of grown from there.
Well, it proves that you're a natural. They say like if the boot fits, put it, go with it. It's like truly, it just aligns with your life and everything that you do. And you've just owned it too. Like being one of the, what I would consider like an original OG, original gangster influencer.
Yes.
You were there before TikTok. You were there, before the crazy, even before the reels. So who cares if you don't want to hop on that train or whatever, because there's so many influencers out there that look up to you that you might not
100%.
even.
100%.
And so
no idea.
Something that like came to mind was like when people are asking you how to style things, and especially in the very beginning when they did for the first time, what was that like? Did you stop and think like, well, why are people asking me this?
Yes. Like you want me to style you? And like kind of the idea of like, well, what if you don't feel comfortable in what I pick out for you? Or how do I even go about picking something out for you? I don't know you. And, I like I said earlier, I feel like people's personality truly shines through their outfits. And that's something I love about fashion is how diverse it is. And so that was really crazy to me. Like, are you sure you want me to pick out your outfit? Like sometimes I put things together, even today, and I'll walk in and ask my husband, I'm like, is this okay? Is this too wild? And he'll be like, well, like you're wearing it. I'm sure you can pull it off. And I'm like, okay.
So true.
So I don't know. It's just, but it is surreal sometimes. And I love it. I enjoy it, but yeah.
And what do you think is like, okay, so the rule for me is if I look in the mirror and I feel like something is too much, I'll either add more or take away, What's your like go-to rule? If we could give like a simple rule of thumb that you live by.
Something I go by is that if I'm not really sure about an outfit, add some more jewelry or accessories and it's probably going to come together. Even this morning, I put my jewelry on and I had a few more like layering pieces, and last minute I put them on and I was like, yep, this works.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like playing around with it, or sometimes I'll think I have an outfit together and something's not right and I can literally change a shirt or something under it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I love this. Yes. Or a pair of shoes. So just if you have an outfit idea, if it doesn't come together the first moment you try it on, keep playing with it because you probably have something there.
Yes.
No, that's so true.
Yeah.
So true. And by the time this episode airs, it's actually going to be like summertime. So it's about to get really hot. So how would you guys style, like, let's say boots with jeans or boots with shorts? I mean, it's not always easy to do, especially when it's so hot.
Yeah.
So,
Right. I love the boots with shorts look. And I think the button down with the shorts and the boots. I just love that.
Half tuck, button up, always.
Yes.
Okay. Half tuck, yes.
And like the light linen material that, I mean, even throwing over a swimsuit, you know, if you're going to the lake or going to the pool or something like that, I love those looks. Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you modeled something like that at one of the shoots.
I did at the last shoot.
Yeah.
And actually vests are huge right now.
Oh.
Which I love because I feel like you
They're
can do
so
a Western,
versatile.
you can make it very classic. You can wear it to the office over a white button down.
That's true.
And do the same thing with the shorts and the boots.
Oh yeah, really cute.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How about you? What do you think? I'm sure it's the same.
Yeah.
But then also,
Pretty similar. I also, for summertime, I love matching sets. I think they're so fun because you can make them Western. Like Shelby said, you can put them over a swimsuit and go to the lake. I mean, there's so many different ways to style them. Boots and jewelry is a big thing. I mean, if it's hot, you don't run a lot of layers, you can still add jewelry and usually be okay.
Yep.
yeah.
So-
And then okay, so speaking of jewelry, do you guys always stick to turquoise? Do you move on to something else?
It's funny because we had this discussion this morning.
did.
Did you?
We
We did.
really did. Blaze is a big turquoise girly.
I love it.
And don't get me wrong, I love turquoise, but I am super drawn to gold jewelry. Like that's just
Okay.
kind of my go-to.
Like a warmer tone, maybe.
Yeah. But it's like you can cross those over though too.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's
And
what
I think
Shelby
that's
and
so
I.
awesome.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. And I was telling her like, I kind of want to get some more gold in my collection because there's some days where I don't want the heavy, all the turquoise pieces and things like that. I have some small like sterling silver ones, but I definitely think you can mix and match and make it your own.
Absolutely.
I agree. And I want to commend you guys for being so kind, both in and out of your daily lives, because I remember a specific situation at NFR, like last year, a bunch of us girls were talking and there was an outfit that I had on that I was just like, I didn't love it, but I was like, you know what? It's comfortable. We're here.
Absolutely.
We're doing it. And there was someone, I don't even remember now who it was. It was an influencer. They were like, no, that's what fashion is.
Yes.
You get to kind of make it comfortable and make it cute and make it. So thank you guys for doing your part to just encourage everyone out there, since you guys do have the eyes on you, that it's okay to dress however you want as long as you own it.
You have to be comfortable in what you're wearing.
Absolutely.
Because if you're comfortable, you're going to feel better about yourself, everything. So I think that's super important.
That is so true.
Yeah.
And because we're almost out of time, one thing that I do on the Kick Your Boots Up podcast is I ask everyone for their best piece of advice in their field. So for you specifically, Blaze, I could tell you're like, I'll give you some time to think. So Shelby, I'll start with you.
Okay.
And what is your best piece of advice for anyone that wants to either start a business, doesn't have to be a boutique, it can be any business, or is like wanting to take it to the next level?
Sure. Step by step, like I said before, minute by minute, day by day, and write down all of your ideas. You don't have to take those on right at that specific time. You can go back to them, but start small. Like that is how I started my business. I've not wanted to get any investors or anything like that. I've just kind of stuck to what I'm good at and what I want to do. So I would say start small and just build it from there.
That's really good advice. And did you ever have any, I have a follow up too. Did you ever have any like hard times where you thought like, I don't know if I want to keep going?
Oh, so many times I've wanted to throw in the towel. Like so many times my husband's like, do you really want to go back into corporate? And I'm like, no, I really don't. I love what I do. I'm just going to tough it out. So it's paid off.
And what has gotten you through? What's been the one thing that you kind of hold on to that like, what, it's worth it?
Honestly, what I'm passionate about. I think passion takes you through everything. Like you just, if you're having a tough time, go back to like your very original reason why you started. And I think it'll push you through.
Yeah. Wow. Well said.
Thank you.
I needed to hear that. And I think several others needed to hear that as well. Very good. Okay, Blaze, for you, there's tons of girls out there that, and you already know this, that want to be an influencer, but you can't just like wake up and decide I'm going to be an influencer one day. And you've worked really, really hard and it's proven for you to work well. So what's your best piece of advice for anyone that wants to be an influencer?
Well, first of all, don't be afraid to ask questions. I think that's something that they're so afraid to message or be like, oh, they won't respond to me. I ask as many questions as you can. I still ask questions.
And if the first person doesn't answer you, I feel
message
like ask
somebody else.
someone else. Yeah.
And also just figure out what you want to do and just stick with it because that's what's going to make it unique to you.
Absolutely.
And you'll find the people that want that and want to follow you for that. And that's how you really create that authentic following that are loyal, like you said, that want, look forward to seeing whether it be your outfits or whether you're, a horse trainer, whatever it may be, whatever your niche is, just sticking to that and sharing that with people and being real through it, I think will help you really find your people, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So.
And like I said, I know I've said this a million times, and I'm not just blowing smoke. Like you guys, both of you have done such a good job of being real and letting people see that, letting people see you for you. I know for you, you'll do a lot of like walking with the dogs.
Yes.
Like, same with you, riding horses or working with your husband, all this stuff. And I think people do need to see the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, all of it.
Yeah,
And
we're all human.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Even the celebrities.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter who you are. You're a human.
We all put our boots on the same way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this has been so fun, and I'm so sad that we don't have that much time. But I do appreciate you guys taking the time
so much for having us. This
Thank
was
you.
so fun.
It was fun.
We love girl chat.
Yes, anytime, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we might have to get you back on before NFR and see
We're
if
here
we could
for
talk through some trends or something.
Oh,
so.
yes.
We do have a project that we're going to work on for NFR,
Yes.
so we can maybe drop
Stay tuned.
drop a few hints.
Yay! Okay, well, you heard it here first. Something big is coming. I'm excited for that. And yeah, we might have to get you back on to talk about that.
Perfect.
For sure.
We're here for it.
Well, thank you guys. If you guys would like to reach out to them, have any more questions, this is your chance to plug yourself. So go ahead and give us your Instagram, websites, all of it.
I actually still answer all of the messages at the Good Babes Co. So if you want to reach out to me there. Also, my personal Instagram is Miss_Shelby Lynn. I would say those are the two ways to reach out.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Instagram for me mainly. Like I said, I've tried the TikTok. I'm not very good with it. Blaze_S_22 or just Blaze Stewart. So I try to respond to all my messages. So
Yeah, and they're very good about linking their outfits too. So if you like what you saw today, or if you want to check out their styles, you can go ahead and follow through there as well. And the Good Babes Co. website is a great place.
Yes.
To shop.
Yes,
The
thank
text,
you.
I will say, I commend. I get a text probably. I don't know when you.
Does it
once
work?
a week.
Does it make you want to shop?
Definitely, definitely.
Yes.
I feel like I'm like
That's
part of
awesome.
a girl gang or something.
Oh, thank
Like,
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So sign up for the
Awesome.
text, all the things.
Awesome.
You'll get notified when there's sales. You get early access, which is my
Yes, you
favorite
do.
part. 'cause
Yes, you do.
I don't know if you know this or not. Anyone out there is watching Good Babes goes really quick. And so
does.
if you get the extra like 20 minutes even, like that helps.
you get an adrenaline rush. Like I get the text and I'm like, I got to get on and get it. Like,
It's kind of like Mud Lowry or something. You know, You're like
Same
it's already
thing.
sold out. What?
yes.
Yes. Yeah.
No, that's so good. Well, thank you again for being
Thank
on.
you.
And I wish you both the best. And like I said, hopefully we'll get to catch up with you later this year.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you have any questions for them that I didn't get to ask today, go ahead and reach out to them on their social platforms. We'll tag them below. And if you have any other questions, just reach out to the Kick Your Boots Up podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us on Kick Your Boots Up. I'm your host, Taylor McAdams, and we can't wait to share the next story of the West. Until then, feel free to like, subscribe, and leave us a review. Follow us on social media at Justin Boots to keep up with our next episode. And we'll see you the next time you kick your boots up.